English is his third language. He wears a kilt under the desk. He survives on a diet of haggis and iron brew. And he once tossed his caber in front of the Prime Minister. Yes, the day after Robbie Burns Day, it's good Scot and great Canadian and Byline host Brian Lilley in Ottawa. Hello, Brian.
Oh, good to see you, Michael. By the way, you've just reminded me, I've got a couple of bottles of iron brew at home that I've forgotten to drink. So,
you know, I don't know if people know iron brew, but it was the essence of political correctness. It had this little caption put on it, not made from girders or something. Because it was always
in Canada, they have to say not a source of iron.
That's right, yeah.
IRN brew, and it's because it used to be sold at the Iron Works to keep the guys from being too thirsty. But yeah, it's a bizarre Scottish pop drink. It's one of the few places where Coke is not the number one soft
Well, that's
drink.
right. And the picture is a guy with a big iron girder on his shoulder, made from girders. But in Canada, it says not a source. I think we realised it probably wasn't made from girders. Let's talk about transgendered cookies. My particular favourite, Girl Guide cookies. It's the Girl Guides here. There is a push that the Girl Guides have to accept transgendered little girl boys. If it was thousands of people saying, I don't know where I fit in, am I a Girl Guide or not? Has anyone actually ever, as a little girl boy, tried to join the Girl Guides? Is this really an issue?
Well, it happened in the United States. It was Colorado area. A boy who says he's a girl tried to join. A boy whose parents say he's a girl tried to join up. And of course, Scouts is no longer the Boy Scouts. It's Scouts Canada, and so they have to accept boys and girls. Gender's not an issue. Doesn't matter what sex you are, you can join. But Girl Guides in this country is still the Girl Guides, and boys can't join, men cannot be leaders. So after this happens in Colorado, kid tries to join, the local troop says no, the state council overrules them. After that, Girl Guides Canada said, oh, we should come up with rules for supporting transgendered children. Now, at that point, I don't believe that they'd had any requests. They posted this on their Facebook page on January 12th as the controversy is happening in the U.S. They now say that they have been approached by one family. One. So it's a group that in the 90s took God and the Queen and all of that out of their promise and their oath because they want to be more inclusive. Sure, lots of people pray, but, you go over there. Now, hey, we've got one family, all of you except transgendered people. My daughters and my wife are both involved with Girl Guides Canada. Haven't heard a peep about this until I told them about it. So, they're doing a lot of consulting as they come up with how they're going to accept this. I'm not sure that the regular folks on the ground will be so embracing of this.
Well, quite. And dare I say it? Yes, I dare say it on the Arena on Sun News. If that child is so-called transgendered, first of all, I believe there's probably abuse involved from the family, emotional or psychological abuse from the parents. But also, even if the child is, I'm sorry, the majority have a right to be protected from this sort of inclination and this dysfunction. The majority should not have to adapt to one person with a pair of neurotic parents, or arguably, very likely, one neurotic mother.
Well, consider this. Consider the practicalities of this, Michael. You've got kids from 5 to 17. In Girl Guides of Canada. They don't allow boys. They don't allow male leaders. So if this happens, and we've got someone going through, you've got a 12-year-old, 13-year-old, 14-year-old boy saying he's a girl. They have not undergone a sex change operation. I don't believe they do them at that age, even in our state-funded healthcare system where they do pay for these things, even if the kid's in prison where we do pay for these things for inmates. No, they will not have gone through a sex change operation. So what? They're off at camp. Do you then allow the person with male genitalia who says they're a girl to sleep in the cabin with the girls, or do you make them sleep off on their own, in which case it's another form of discrimination? And then do you have to have transgendered leaders to look after the transgendered child? I feel like I've fallen through the rabbit hole with Alice.
I think you have, and you've landed in a transgendered world. Let's go back to where it's all fine and dandy, though, and that's the Hamilton, Ontario, your hometown. Now, there's a guy with a restaurant, and he's posted a sign, an ad that says, "We don't serve," and it's various ethnic foods.
Yeah,
fair enough. He's not abusive about ethnic food, but
ethnic foods like burgers, fries, chicken wings. And these are all on the list, along with halal, kebab, shawarma. There's the list there, Mexican. He gets asked this, and to serve you better, our staff speak English. That's one of his signs as well.
Oh, dear, what a fascist.
It is Hillbilly Heaven Southern Barbecue. That's all he sells, and he says he put up the sign because he was tired of people coming in and saying, do you sell this? No, I sell pulled pork and pulled chicken.
There's a Confederate flag hanging up, isn't there?
Yeah, you know, you had one gentleman come in and say, well, you say you're barbecue, you must have Korean duck barbecue, and then got angry when he said he didn't. So he's got a sign up saying, do you see any ducks in the window? No, we don't sell Korean duck.
I think there's another word in there, isn't there?
I'm sorry?
I think there's another word before duck, but that we can't see on TV, perhaps.
Well, perhaps, but I think it's even that, it's abbreviated. So,
is it?
You know, the guy is just being upfront. Evelyn Myrie, who is with the Hamilton Council on Inclusion or some bizarrely named group that, of course, is taxpayer funded, is quoted extensively in the Spectator article on this, saying, this is horrible. She doesn't like this one bit.
Well, don't eat there then.
Don't eat there. I mean, you know, how dare he pick on Germans by saying they don't sell hamburgers? How insensitive of him not to sell hamburgers and then point that out, just poking the Germans in the eye. Evelyn Myrie is a woman who, as far as I can tell, has spent her career working for far-left feminist organizations on the taxpayer's dime, everything from Status of Women Canada to a make-work project Bob Ray invented called the Workers' Arts Heritage Project, to other government-funded groups, being a grievance monger, going around and saying, you have to change. No. Get out. Turn the channel. That's what you keep telling us if we don't like things. Turn the channel. Don't join. Don't eat there.
Well said, Brian, but, I mean, thank the living God they don't serve haggis. Thank you, as always, my friend.
I don't know why I come on your show.